and welcome back to day one of British Championship playoffs in sunny Stoke-on-Trent. This is the game with the champions of Tier 3 West, North Wales Roller Derby, playing the runners-up of Tier 3 South, Wiltshire Roller Derby, for a place in the semi-finals for promotion to Tier 2. I'm Dork Mistress.
And I'm Panda. Thank you very much for joining us. Whether you are planning to come along or joining us online, we're very, very happy to have you here. So do make sure you get in touch with us using the hashtag British Champs. If you want to speak to us on Twitter, we'll try and read some of your shout outs as we go along. Shall we run through the rosters for this game?
Yes, so for North Wales Roller Derby, we have 107 Spider Slam, 11 Diddley Squat, 14 Sharp Attack, 191 Megan Jones, captain, number 2 Sudden Beth, 23 MC Slammer, 300 Slamwise Bambi, 35 Megapixel, 612 Max Payne, 7 Cyclo, 808 Lady Guinevere, 888 Chellraiser, 9 Skatey Perry, 9001 Bambi Boom, and 91 Rottens, the vice captain for North Wales Roller Derby.
Playing in white, Wiltshire Roller Derby today, we've got 0-0 Law Renegade, 1-3 Ginge, 1-9 Be Brutal, 2-2 Skeletor, 2-4-9 Serenity Shepherd, 2-8 Templeman, 4 Lady T, 4-4 Chloe, 5 Hayley, 5-8 Diamond Dodge, 702 Jessica Stabbit, and 78 Lindsay. So we are just over a minute to gameplay as we get started. So purple, North Wales Roller Derby, white, Wiltshire Roller Derby.
And the officials that are on track for this game, we have Errington, Cyborg, Julius Caesar, Quad Damage, Big Whoop, Says Who, Ref Metal, and Duke Special as the refs.
And NSAs, we've got Pretty Miffed, X-Ray Ted, Bomb Weasley, Mischief, All Askew, Hannah, Robert John Lawrence, She-Wolf, The Incredible Bulk, Steph Metal, Lucifer, and Judge Collect.
So the two teams today are playing for a place in the Tier 3 West semi-final, and the losers of this game, that's the end of their journey in this playoff season. But it's been a long season, going on since February, I think, the first game.
We've got the semi-final, just as Dog Mistress mentioned there, coming up tomorrow morning. It's game 10 at 9:30. It's going to be an exciting day of roller derby tomorrow. We've already seen some incredibly fast action play today.
Absolutely, and both teams really wanting to make the most of this opportunity, because promotion is what we're all about this weekend.
We are indeed. We are just a few seconds away from gameplay. And it looks like we've got Renegade and Slamwise Bambi up jamming. And their whistle starts the jam.
And these first few jams are always that tentative, trying out the different walls and approaches.
Indeed they are. Jammers struggling through the first turn, not even getting past the pivot line. North Wales holding a really strong wall back there.
But it's Slamwise Bambi who is out for North Wales Roller Derby as lead.
Laura Renegade really struggling to get through the walls on there, but it looks like we've got a star pass. So Be Brutal now taking the star there for Wiltshire.
But Slamwise Bambi is on a scoring pass, but sees the danger and calls the jam, picks up first point, 1 point.
And that pack had hardly even moved past turn 2 from that jam. Just over a minute into play.
I think we're looking for a good game, quite evenly matched, these two teams.
Yeah, it's going to be really tight up to the finish, I think, just as we did see on the previous track with the Newcastle and Hull game, was incredibly close as well. So off now, we've got Diddley Squat and Diamond Dodge jamming.
But again, strong defense from both teams with hitouts and recycles on the jammer.
Some good strong walls as they're coming through, holding back those jammers. Nice offense as well, throwing them both into the walls, and Wiltshire picking up lead. Diamond Dodge has finally made their way out.
Diddley Squat facing some excellent dynamic walling from Wiltshire, but has completed a star pass now. Megan Love jamming for North Wales.
Knocked out to the outfield there, Diamond Dodge having to recycle.
So that's Diamond Dodge on a scoring pass. Megan Love still yet to complete that initial pass for North Wales. And as I say that, clears the pack.
And that's the jam whistle. And it looks like we have a handful of points on the board now. So Wiltshire 5 down, North Wales with 1.
So pretty much even Stevens in this first couple of jams.
Yeah, some slow pack work, which has been really good so far. I think once the teams have got a bit of a feel for it, they're going to be starting to pick up the pace as they go through. I think maybe in a couple of jams' time, they'll probably get the feel of it quite quickly.
Yeah, both teams are going to want to have that dominance in the first few games to really close it down, and that...
Yeah, really throwing in some great strong hits straight off the line. I think they're already starting to push the power into those walls now and moving back, as we've got Lindsay and Chellraiser jamming. Lindsay's really struggling at the back there because it's a brutally strong wall from North Wales. And you've got 2 wall up at the front there from Wiltshire. Doing a great job.
And that's textbook blocking and defense. I mean, just incredible walling.
Some nice waterfalling as they're keeping those walls rotating around and recycling.
Quarter of the track. That's a long way back when you think that we are 1 minute into this game and only just on the apex.
There was no pack called there, and we'll see if this pack actually manages to do an entire lap. And Lindsay picking up the jammer for Wiltshire. Looks like we've got 4 arms penalty there, and that is North Wales pivot onto the penalty box.
So North Wales with 2 blockers left on track.
Got a cut track penalty and a power jam in situ. And there we go, jammer finally taking a seat. It seems like that was called a long time ago and took ages to go and sit down, but there you go.
Wiltshire with the pack advantage, and that's going to have that impact on the power jam as that is just cleared through the outside for the jammer.
Yeah, absolutely. So Lindsay calling it off there. They've got a power start in the next jam, and they've still got that pack advantage as we've got 2 blockers and jammer in the penalty bin for North Wales.
And this is an opportunity for Wiltshire to gain those early points and open up an early lead that can have such an impact on momentum and morale on this game.
That's true, because North Wales haven't really got any traction in the last few jams. So we've got 1 point on the board there versus 15, and it was 10 in that last jam.
And only 2 North Wales blockers on track.
Yeah, they've got an awfully hard job at the moment. But let's see what they can do with this. And Renegade picking up lead jammer, not surprisingly. And it looks like we've got an out-of-play penalty called there.
But North Wales, very clever, trying to make it as difficult as possible for the Wiltshire jammer, move the pack as far forward as they can.
And that pack's full strength now.
Just as Renegade goes through for a scoring pass, knocks over Megan Love onto the ground, and that's a no pass, no point for Renegade.
Sorry, we do have 3 blockers on track for North Wales. It was 2 out, 1 in the penalty box.
So that was a bit of a back and forth in that last jam, but it is Wiltshire picking up the points now. 24 points on the board, 9 in that last jam. North Wales with just the 1 on, and that is a timeout called by North Wales.
I think at this point both teams still feeling out the opposition, but it gets to the point sometimes where it can get a little bit messy as you're still trying to figure out where you are on track and how they're playing, what kind of tactics they're putting into use. And it does look like we've got some pretty similar tactics from both teams here at the minute.
But North Wales, I think, clever move to call a timeout at this point to stop Wiltshire getting that momentum behind them and to sort of change up their tactics, because in the last couple of jams that hasn't worked for them. I mean, Wiltshire have picked up 3 of the 4 lead jammers in these first 4 jams.
We had a very busy penalty box as well from North Wales, and we're only into jam number 5 as we're coming up to it. So I'm thinking they're going to be taking the half time to really be looking at that and figuring out if anybody's going to be picking up at high levels of penalties. So we 24 minutes and 12 seconds on the clock. North Wales with no movement, 1 point to 24, and it looks like we've got an official timeout.
Yep. I think just making sure everything has been tracked and is accounted for. A discussion going on the outside line. OPR lane even.
So yes, thank you very much for everybody for joining us today here live from the Roller Derby City track.
And remember, if you like what you're seeing and you're hearing, hashtag British Champs, and we will be keeping an eye on that Twitter feed.
Absolutely, we've got the lovely Brom here producing with us, so he's going to keep us informed of anything that comes up.
On the radar jam line today, on this jam we have...
It is Slamwise Bambi and Diamond Dodge. Slamwise Bambi picking up lead jammer for North Wales. Again, that timeout could have given them a bit of much needed traction like we mentioned previously. Pack moving through now, quite pacey and breaking up a little bit, but Diamond Dodge has managed to break through.
But North Wales again with a blocker in the box. Consistent sort of 1 or 2 blockers a jam. And that's showing, and it's letting the Wiltshire jammer get through and score those points. Just as they do score another 4 points.
So finally some movement on the scoreboard, and I think this is going to be the momentum that they're going to be looking for, because as soon as they start picking it up, I think we'll get a bit of a good roll on it, excuse the pun. But Wiltshire now coming back with another 4 points on the board, winning that jam 8-4.
But that's the first jam we've had where both teams have scored points. It's been all or nothing up until this point. So again, that timeout has helped them, I think, change. However, Wiltshire picked up 8 points in that jam, North Wales 6. So that gap has widened a little.
It has, but I think we'll see what I like to refer to as accordion scoring, where they kind of go forward and back, and they closes up. And, you know, we've seen a lot of games like that already today.
So it's Diddley Squat on the radar jam line for North Wales.
Lindsay out for lead. And just having a look at what's going on, we do have a down skater, so the whistle has gone as they receive some medical attention. We'll just move away from the action for a second.
And actually our partners, our events medical services, and they do a fantastic job across the land throughout the season.
They do. They travel well with roller derby, and they're very well known throughout the teams.
Yep. Also a chance in this break to go and have a look at Ruby Fury, one of our sponsors. And they are they make the most amazing leggings and clothing and fabulous, comfortable, but beautiful wear. 10% off your first order if you go through the British Champs website.
Amazing. And they've got some really nice stuff online. I've been having a look. So we've got some eye on penalties just now. As you can see, the penalty box for North Wales was filling up quite considerably in those first few jams. So Sudden Beth's got a couple, Max Payne's got a couple, Chellraiser and Rotten's.
I mean, we've only had 6 jams and they've got 6 penalties.
Well, there you go. And we've only got the one on the side from Wiltshire there, Ginge. And that was the point at which we saw the power jam.
Yep. And I think that tells the story on the points in this early in the game. But I think you're right, both teams are still testing each other out.
Mm-hmm. I think you can sometimes tell with some of the tactics that it doesn't necessarily mean, penalties don't necessarily mean messy gameplay. No. It can be unfortunate, and I think that's what's been happening here. They've just kind of, they've had a foot out of play here. They've kind of not necessarily been paying too much attention to where they are on track, what their feet are doing, because they are trying to focus more on figuring out what's going on with the other team.
I think that's very true at the start of this game, and I think that, you know, the positives for North Wales there is that as they settle into the game, that should get a bit, you know, they should be making less of those mistakes.
You'd like to think so, because you don't want to really be going into half time seeing each of these skaters that have already got 2 penalties moving up into 4 or 5, because that's the point at which you're going to be thinking, well, they're going to be close to fouling out, which we, you know, we hopefully won't be seeing.
Yeah. I mean, it's good to see North Wales Roller Derby at the playoffs this year. They've been in Tier 3 for a couple of years now. They were promoted a couple of years ago and have really worked hard to get to the top of that tier. It's been a great journey for them. And you know, so I think that that's part of why they really want to be here. They want it so hard that they're just perhaps focusing on the other team and not on their own game enough.
I think so, but we're still only 6 jams in, 8 minutes of gameplay.
Yeah.
That's our lovely events medical
and
team there.
It's very hard for us as announcers to have a view on 8 minutes of gameplay.
It is. I think you get, when you have a background information on the teams, coming into a tournament like this, it's worth a lot of information in terms of statistics, but you never know what's going to happen in terms of gameplay, because every team that comes can play completely differently depending on the game that you're provided with. So it's always good to come into it with an objective viewpoint, as we do as announcers, and we need to. And you kind of look at it with a fresh pair of eyes and think, you know, well, what is it that this team's bringing here today compared to what they've done in the past? Like you were saying about North Wales being in Tier 3 now for a little while. They're actually, at this point, I think they're going to be starting to look at their gameplay really seriously and thinking, okay, what's going to happen now in terms of what's going to happen tomorrow?
Yeah.
But it's Wiltshire picking up lead jammer. That's Renegade.
That's their 5th lead jam this game, 2nd in a row.
Chelraiser is jamming for North Wales, but struggling behind the pack. Called off there for a 4-point pass. So Wiltshire now on 36, North Wales on 7. Struggling to pick it up.
Yep.
But again, we said, you know, we're only just over 8 minutes in. Anything can happen.
Yep.
You could be 30 odd points behind coming up to the last few jams, and they could be the ones that make all the difference. So it's so difficult to tell at this point in the game.
Both teams with a blocker in the box at the start of this jam.
So 3-on-3 in play. Diamond Dodge and Slamwise Bambi jamming. Slamwise Bambi picking up lead for North Wales.
But there was a cut track penalty on the Wiltshire jammer then.
So taking a seat and helmet cover in hand. We've got a nice power jam in situ here now for Slamwise Bambi, and a good opportunity to pick up a few more points. I think a little bit of breathing room here for North Wales. They'll be quite pleased about that. They know they've still got a lot of hard work to do because they're fighting really hard through those packs, trying to break those walls apart. Struggling and having to be recycled again though. Jammer's standing in the penalty box.
But that's some great work by North Wales to try and hold back Templeman from Wiltshire as a goat, to slow that pack down, to make it difficult.
So 2 in the bin for North Wales now. It's a 4-on-2 pack. And it looks like Jam's back on track. Again, helmet cover still in hand. Coming up against a nice 2-watt on the back there. Oh, and a cut track penalty on Slamwise Bambi. So a power jam now to Wiltshire roller derby. North Wales taking a seat, full penalty box. When she sits on the correct seat, then it's a full penalty box.
Yes, and that shows with Wiltshire able to just take apart the North Wales blockers and get their jammer through with no difficulty.
Yeah, they've got to be careful of those front lines. I think they're starting to pose a little bit of a problem. Keeping an eye on the opposing skaters, and we've seen a ref taken out in the outside lane. They're going to be buying drinks at the after party later.
That was just very unfortunate, but that was a great hit from the North Wales pivot.
Luckily, it doesn't look like we had any injuries, maybe a little bit of a coccyx bump.
So Slamwise Bambi pushing out front against that Wiltshire wall, and it's a hit out just at the end. I was like, oh, there's going to be a recycle, but no, the game came to an end.
So North Wales winning that jam 10-8. Then we're just over 10.5 minutes gameplay gone.
And that's actually only the 2nd jam this game that they've scored more points than Wiltshire.
But that's good. I think it gets to the point now where they are starting to feel that bit of momentum. And it's almost like I can feel the positivity rising up to the balcony.
And momentum is so important in this game, and so these little switches and jams are absolutely crucial for the next 5 minutes.
Oh, indeed. Lindsay and Spider Slam jamming now, but struggling through, but it is Spider Slam picking up lead jammer. Lindsay's really got a hard job at the back of the pack there, having to recycle practically all the way back to the jammer line.
That's some textbook bridging there from North Wales. That's how all the coaches want to see it done.
It's been really good. The blocking has been excellent, and the pack itself hasn't really done that many laps in terms of the whole gameplay so far, because they are just containing those jammers so well through turns 1 and 2. Spider Slam struggling up at the front there, just one skater to pass. Nicely done.
But that's
through.
But that's Wiltshire with a blocker going to the penalty box for an out of play block.
And it looks like both of our jammers coming up toward the pack now, sitting quite nicely between turns 3 and 4, and jam called off. No points apiece in that last pass. But that was a 5-point jam for North Wales.
Closing that gap down, I just want to point out Ginger's block there, right at the end of that jam. Didn't have to put any real movement into it. Was just in the right place to be that perfect person to hit somebody to the inside. It was just a piece of work of art.
Absolutely beautiful. I mean, it still amazes me how skaters can look like they're standing still, but there's an awful lot of energy in those movements. Diddley Squat and Lorenegade jamming. Diddley Squat picking up lead effortlessly off the line. 4-on-2 pack advantage here to North Wales.
That's 3 lead jams in a row for North Wales. We talk about momentum. This is the evidence.
Yes, I think they're finally seizing their opportunities now and finding the holes in the walls that Wiltshire have started to break up slightly. So I think half term is going to be quite pivotal for them. Going to be tightening this wall up now as Ginge comes back to reform the rear of the pack.
But that's Wiltshire completing their initial pass, and that forces Diddley Squat to call the jam. But again, it's the 3rd jam in a row that North Wales will have scored, and they picked up 9 points in that jam, taking them now 31, Wiltshire on 44, so just 13 points back in this game now.
So as we are almost halfway through this first period, we've got full force on the track from both teams now. Shellraiser and Diamond Dodge jamming. Still struggling behind the jammer line there, North Wales.
But Diamond Dodge pushing out up front. Just 2 North Wales blockers left to go. And pushes through. Lead jammer for Wiltshire.
That's been a few jams in the making, I think, for them now. 3 to be precise. Coming through, nice offense on the outside there. Effortlessly through, no opposition, and a 5-point pass. And Shellraiser's finally out of the pack. Pack just looking like they're having a leisurely stroll, waiting for their jammers to come back in.
Looks more like a warm-up than a strategy.
Yeah, it does. Nicely done. 3 points more there in that last pass. So Wiltshire on an 8-point jam. 52-31 Wiltshire playing in white today. North Wales roller derby playing in purple. Full pack on the track. I don't have to say that too much because the announcer's curse might just hit. All right, Lady Guinevere jamming for the first time today for North Wales, and Lynn Zane.
Lady Guinevere finding that inside line, but there is that wall of 3 Wiltshire blockers up front.
North Wiltshire have got pivot in the penalty box. So 4-on-3 pack advantage.
But it's North Wales that pick up the lead. Lady Guinevere is out of that initial pass.
Short jam there, just 28 seconds. Oh no, that was the whistle from the other track. I do apologise.
I was like, this jam is going on. And both tracks, if you're not here, you can't see how close the 2 tracks are, and sometimes the whistles can carry over.
Alrighty, oh, back on track. We've got a little tussle through turn 2. Oh, strong wall up at the front there, some good recycling, but taken down at the front there.
But this is Lady Guinevere on second scoring pass, has had enough and calls that jam.
So it looks like we're going to be going ahead with a power start for North Wales. Lindsay's taking a seat.
North Wales picked up 8 points in that last jam, taking them to 39, and again just 13 points behind Wiltshire.
And just over 13 minutes on the period clock for this first half.
So on the radar jam line for North Wales, we have...
Let's just see the board there. Slamwise, Bambi and Lindsay. Lindsay, as we said before, still sitting in the penalty box.
Both teams with full packs on track. But Slamwise Bambi happy to just push out front, not getting offense from their teammates at the moment.
No, good waterfall in wall up at the front there from Wiltshire. Strong hits and no pack called, so it's basically you gotta let it go.
Great tactics there by North Wales to keep number 249 Serenity Shepherd at the back of the pack, slow that pack movement down. And that's 100% lead jams for Slamwise Bambi in this game.
All right, North Wales with Skater in the penalty box now, so a 4-on-3 pack advantage.
Oh, that was a beautiful hip tap there from North Wales from number 14, Sharp Attack. That was a...
Slid quite far out into the ref lane there. This is one of the longer jams that we've actually had, I think.
I know, they've been very, very quick jams in this game. Trying to just get them... But you see that in tight games, you just want the 4 points and call it. You don't want that risk of the other team scoring.
Lindsay coming out of the pack there, popping the helmet cover back on. But to no avail, 3 more points on the board there for North Wales. So 42-52, it's a 10-point game as we go into the last 12 minutes. So blocker standing in the penalty box for North Wales. 4-on-3 pack advantage here to Wiltshire. Laurel Renegade and Diddley Squat jamming.
North Wales have picked up lead 5 of the last 6 jams, and Diddley Squat looks like they're going to, get lead jam for the 6th out of 7th jams.
Laurel Renegade very close to getting a cut track penalty there, but managing to stay out of bounds to recycle.
Diddley Squat now on a scoring pass at the back of the pack.
Some nice booty block in there at the back of the pack.
The Renegade's still stuck behind that wall of purple at the back, just as Slamwise Bambi, Diddley Squat pushes out front and completes that 5-point scoring pass for North Wales.
Some very nice footwork on the outside of the track there. And it looks like we've had Jessica Stabit has now got the helmet cover on for Wiltshire, so we've got Star Pass. And one of the Wiltshire blockers in the penalty box. Diddley Squat out again for another 4-point pass.
Yep. However, Wiltshire's jammer is now also out of the pack.
So the closest we've seen to both of the jammers skating together, I think, at this point. No specific jammer on jammer action, but call it off just as they're reaching the back of the pack, trying to tire out the opposition. 51 plays, 56 in favour of Wiltshire roller derby.
Both teams picked up points in that jam, but North Wales more closing that gap down now to just 5 points on this roller derby city track.
So as we move into the last 10 minutes of the game, the pack now moving back towards the jammer line, and we've got Spider Slam and Diamond Dodge jamming. Spider Slam picking up lead.
Diamond Dodge hit out and recycled back behind the radar jam line.
Strong walls held up at the front there from Wiltshire. Doing a nice job and holding the jammers down. Recycling right the way toward the back. North Wales keeping a good strong back line.
But North Wales are having, this is their 7th lead out of 8 jams. So this is, but you would have thought they'd be able to capitalise on it a bit more and be closing that gap maybe a bit quicker, but it's so tight. It's one pass and you call it.
Well, we're at this point in the game, 5 points in it. We know it could go either way, and it's going to get a lot more exciting the closer it gets. But this This gameplay, we're keeping nice tight packs, really good strong walls, so we haven't really seen much in the way of multiplayer block penalties, so they're keeping good clean walls, which is nice to see. And it looks like we have a tied score, 56 to 56 with 8.5 minutes left on the clock, and the crowd enjoying that one.
And I think it just shows how strong the defense is, that we're only at 56 points each with over 20 minutes into this game, and that, you know, they're able to really, with lead, only get one scoring pass.
So we've got an official timeout now.
Yeah. Wiltshire with a very clear 3 jammer rotation, which is the Renegade and Diamond Dodge and Lindsay as their 3 key jammers. North Wales able to mix it up a bit more. They've had 5 different people on the radar jam line.
We've also had Jessica Stabbit taking the star there for Wiltshire, but not to any avail, unfortunately. So the official timeout here is over. We'll be getting back to the track, and it looks like we've got, yeah, everybody on track, nobody in the penalty box. 56 plays 56. 8:14 left on the clock. So let's see where we're going to come up to. Oh, Lynn Zane was out in front, but not clean enough. And jam called off by North Wales. Then they figured out, well, that, you know, I've got control of this here. I am behind. I'm just going to call it quits. And there we go. And a timeout's been called.
And that's a timeout for Wiltshire. And I think the Trailblazers seemed to lose a bit of momentum as they came out to the front of the pack.
So just shy of 8 minutes left on the clock. No movement on the points in that last game. Last jam, sorry. Let's have a look at the penalties.
And what's interesting here is when we looked at this last 8 minutes into the game, it was all one-sided. Now you're seeing, although North Wales still have a few more penalties, Wiltshire have also started to put some time into the penalty box now as well.
I think it is spread a little bit more amongst the team, but Max Payne already on 3. So keep an eye on that before we go in 3-4 arms.
But I think the pace of penalties there has definitely eased, I think, as the nerves have gone a bit.
Yeah, the direction of gameplay penalties really high on Wiltshire's side. So I think that comes down to their when the pack is bridging across the track and they're not necessarily keeping an eye on what's going on when the no pack's called. And I think that's kind of where they're falling down a little bit. Got to keep an eye on that one.
So that last jam was the first 0-0 jam we've had in this game, apart from when it was called off.
So back on track now with Slamwise Bambi and La Renegade jamming. We've got one of North Wales in the penalty box, so it's a 4-on-3 pack advantage to Wiltshire. Recycling now back through turn 4. Oh, some big hits.
But La Renegade brushing that off and pivoting around the inside to pick up the lead jammer for Wiltshire. So
could Wiltshire use this to pull into the lead? I think that's going to be a yes.
Well, this is Wiltshire's first lead jam in 6 jams, so this is a good opportunity for them to switch that momentum up.
Max Payne has got the helmet cover in hand now. So, ooh, did we actually have anything? Yes, 5 points on the board. I thought we might have. Excellent. Yeah. So 61, Wiltshire edging into the lead.
And the Renegade breaking Slamwise Bambi's 100% lead jammer record. And some nifty footwork by the bench for North Wales there, skipping across the track before the game gets underway.
So full force back on the track now. We've had a few relatively light penalty jams, considering we just had a look at those. They were spread quite thinly, but...
Diddley squat hit out on the outside and recycled.
Diamond Dodge picking up lead jammer for Wiltshire.
Second lead jam in a row for Wiltshire.
So again, we're seeing a bit of a switch in the momentum for the teams here. I think we'll just be going back and forth again with this throughout the game. I think this is going to be something that we'll be seeing right up to the end. And it looks as though, I thought we had a star pass there, no, but I was mistaken. She just removed the helmet cover.
And we have to give a shout out to Diamond Dodge for that excellent attempt at that apex jump. That was a huge jump right across the corner, but the wheels went down first, so it counted.
Some of these jammers just look like they're flying. And we've got a lovely numeric palindrome there on the scoreboard. It's 56-65 in favour of Wiltshire. It's sad, isn't it, that these things amuse me. Back on track, Lady Guinevere jamming again for the second time for North Wales. Lindsay, again, we've seen like on this relatively small jammer rotation for Wiltshire. Both of these walls in the pack seem to be mirroring each other quite well. The movement laterally across the tracks just sort of flowing, as both of the jammers are trying desperately to juke side to side to get through.
So that's some beautifully timed offense from Be Brutal from Wiltshire, but Lindsay wasn't able to capitalise on that.
MC Slammer trying to keep the jammer down at the back of the pack, doing a great job. Oh, to try and go on the inside there. Lady Guinevere didn't quite manage it, but it has managed to jump back onto the track, but it was a cut track penalty. I think we got just ahead with the hips there. I think she thought she was clean, but no.
Yeah. I think it was the angle that she took back onto the track. It was a little unusual, and I think it caused that cut track penalty.
I think there was a split second that the referees were just going, yes, is it? Yes, no, definitely. So blocker and a jammer in the penalty box. And are we having, recycling the jammer there. We're going to be running for the full 2 minutes here as we go through. Lindsay now ahead.
Some lovely footwork from Lindsay on the inside to stay in track.
Absolutely. Now completing that initial pass, we've got 20 odd seconds on the clock. Is it going to be enough just to pick up a handful of points?
Wiltshire will be keen
to make it hard.
Wiltshire going to be keen to expand their lead, but North Wales very sensibly trying to save their points, speeding up the pack. But that's a big recycle back, all the way back to turn 3.
Very nice pack dynamics, I think we're seeing from both teams here. The pack is moving very slowly, very fluid, and also putting a lot of thought into the walls and the rotation and those waterfall.
I mean, that was great work from North Wales to sort of shut down that power jam to just 3 points for Wiltshire.
Absolutely. 56-68 in favour of North Wales. Just over 3 minutes left on the clock here in the first half on the Roller Derby City track. North Wales playing in purple, Wiltshire playing in white, and we've got Spider Slam jamming for North Wales and Law Renegade for Wiltshire.
North Wales haven't scored any points in the last 4 jams, so this has enabled Wiltshire to build this small lead up, and they'll be looking to change that going into half-time. Don't want to go into half-time with that long run of 0 points.
Some nice rotation in the pack walls there as they're coming through. La Renegade is struggling and from moving from the front of the pack now, recycling on the back and taking a fall. But could we see, a nice hit there from the outside.
Megan Love for North Wales with a ferocious hit on.
So La Renegade now back at the rear of the pack, struggling to break through that wall, trying to get the shoulder in for the inside, recycling once again behind Sharp Attack. But up against the front of the pack, the outer play warning goes up, and finally a minute into the jam, and lead is called. Spider Slam now has the advantage, but that pack is picking up the pace. And Skeletor has got the helmet cover on now for Wiltshire, so we've seen a star pass.
Oh, that was beautiful tactics from the North Wales blockers. Had isolated a single Wiltshire point, and that meant that the jammer could come through, get the point, call the jam, and break that sort of 4 jam run of no points.
I think that's a little bit of a sigh of relief from their part as well.
I just thought it was perfectly timed, team working together.
Which we've seen a lot of like really excellent tactics from both of the teams on the track. Like I say, quite similar, and I think they're starting to notice this. It's the gameplay is evolving a little bit now as we're moving into the halftime period, so they'll be able to catch up and really sort things out. We might see some different tactics in the second half, but we'll see. I think we're going to have this really close gameplay throughout. So
I think it's taking longer and longer to get those lead jammers.
Yes. But speaking of which, Slamwise Bambi picking up lead jammer for North Wales. Diamond Dodge stuck at the back of the pack and handing the helmet cover out, trying to hold the helmet cover out. Has it gone? Yes. Be Brutal has it in a hand.
I think what we've seen from both teams is excellent track awareness.
Yes, I agree.
I think it's really stood out. They know exactly where everybody is and where they should be.
I think that comes with experience as well. You don't have to necessarily be looking around. You get to the point where I think you can smell where your teammates are. You know exactly. And I'm not referring to Derby Sting, just by instinct. Slamwise Bambi is through now for a 4-point pass.
But both teams are picking up points in this jam. North Wales completed 2 scoring passes. Wiltshire, though, have completed 1 and just about to complete 2, just as Slamwise Bambi comes through for that 3rd pass.
So that period clock has now ended. We've got 43 seconds left on the jam clock, so this will be our last jam before we go into half-time. Slamwise.
Interesting that North Wales are deciding to run this jam long. I mean, at the moment, that's working in their favour.
It is. You've got your pack and your jammer in terms of North Wales moving around a similar pace. So North Wales, I think, just trying to keep the clock down. And the points, again, going to be looking relatively close as we go into the second half. The 12 apiece as it stands at the moment as we go into half-time. Just double-check what that means. So 73 for North Wales, 80 to Wiltshire Roller Derby. It is a 7-point game as we go into the second half here on the Roller Derby City track at the British Championships playoffs.
I think that I'd completely agree. 2 very similar teams, 2 teams with very similar strengths and weaknesses, and that's really shown in this first half. And it just shows in that it's a low-scoring game because it's all about the defense.
Absolutely,
all about the defense in this game. And that is the half-time whistle.
It is. So from myself, Panda.
I'm Dork Mistress and our lovely producer, Brom.
We'll be back with you in about 10 minutes' time. See you soon.
And welcome back to this North Wales Roller Derby versus Wiltshire Roller Derby game as part of British Championships playoffs day 1 in sunny Stoke-on-Trent. I'm Dork Mistress.
I'm Panda. If you do want to get in touch with us, please use the hashtag BritishChamps to speak to us via Twitter. We've got our lovely producer Brom here. He's keeping an eye on things. If you've got anything that you want to say to us, if you just want to give a shout out to your mates, your teammates, your favourite players, whoever that might be, please do give us a shout.
So, quick wrap up on that first half. I mean, thrilling back and forth in that game, but we've got some stats here that help tell the story of that first half. So, most successful jammer so far is number 300 for North Wales Roller Derby, Slamwise Bambi, who's picked up lead 5 out of 6 times. 49% of North Wales Roller Derby's points. But the big story is that Wiltshire, their lead jammer Diamond Dodge has picked up 56% of their points, but only got lead 3 times. So this is Wiltshire have got that small lead ahead because they're able to score points even when North Wales have lead jam.
Yes.
We had a big part of the first half where North Wales picked up lead jam 7 out of 8 times, but were only able to do 1 or 2 scoring passes, and Wiltshire were able to sneak the points in as well.
Yeah, so they've been skating quite consistently close together in terms of, I mean, the actual physical space with the jammers there. The pack hasn't been spreading out too far across the track, and they haven't been going too fast, but we've been seeing some really, really nice tactics and gameplay in the pack. Those blockers have been doing a great job with their walls, spread pretty evenly throughout the front and the back of the pack. Some points have been caught at the front of the pack where there's been some breakup of the opposition. We did have a little bit of we saw some of the penalties on the board there briefly. We had a look at those earlier. So we had quite a penalty heavy first few jams from North Wales, but it seems like things have evened up a little bit. More direction of gameplay penalties from Wiltshire. Forearms and cut track penalties seem to be the headline there for North Wales. So Diddley Squat now jamming for Wales, and Skeletor up jamming for Wiltshire, the first time that Skeletor has started on the jam line. Because
Wiltshire have had a very consistent 3 jammer lineup, and so as you said, Skeletor's first time on the jam line. Diddley Squat pushing out front with that Wiltshire wall ahead,
So coming through now, and that was it. Out of play was going there, but a forearms penalty. Sees Skeletor sent to the penalty box. 4-3 pack advantage. But no jammer on the track there for Wiltshire.
And Diddley Squat has now been awarded lead jammer.
I think that was just a little bit of a realisation there from the referee. It was like, oh, yes, actually, there is no lead jammer on track, and that's mine. So Diddley Squat picking that up as we were about 3/4 of a second in, 3/4 of a minute in. Diddley Squat now out for 5 points. Reforming those walls in the pack now as the pack spread way too far out. So
I think this is a bit of a dream start for North Wales to have that power jam in the first jam after half time.
Yeah, they got off to a little bit of a shaky start at the beginning of the first period, but again, I think they're using a little bit of time here to try and figure out what's new since the half time.
And North Wales doing an amazing job of keeping Skeletor up front behind that wall. 2 blockers, and Skeletor using all of their force, not able to push through.
Oh, nice work on toe stops up front there, but it was a cut track penalty. So that sees Skeletor going back to the penalty box. Diddley Squats with another 5 points. So North Wales racing ahead now.
And North Wales holding back number 13, Ginge, to slow the pack down. And that works. The jam is called, and we have a lead change.
We do indeed. 12 points on the board there for North Wales. 85-80. And that was just the second jam.
I think this is the first time we've seen North Wales in the lead. They've done a great job when Wiltshire have gone ahead of closing that up. But they've actually gone into the lead for the first time in this game.
So we have an official timeout now. It's just been called.
Just a chance to talk about one of the sponsors for the tournament, Double Threat Skates, who are here, but also have a bricks and mortar presence and an online presence. So if you need any kind of skating gear, go to Double Threat Skates. And thank you for your support at this tournament.
Absolutely. All of our sponsors are absolutely wonderful. We're on the Roller Derby City track here. We also have the Just One Body track that you will be seeing on the other side of the live stream. So if you are tuning in and listening to us and you've got some feedback or some comments about the games, get in touch. Use the hashtag #BritishChamps. And we will endeavour to do our best to read them out for you.
And the timeout's coming to an end, and we are starting with a power jam for North Wales.
Yeah, Skeletor still in the box. Slamwise Bambi jamming for North Wales.
Brushes off that hit, and lead jammer.
Toe stops up the inside line. They're so very close to the rope under the track, and nicely done. Anyway, back into scoring pass as we see.
Again, textbook bridging, really knowing their 10-foot distances from North Wales.
I did wonder if we were going to see a cut track penalty called there. I mean, I'm not a referee up close, but I did wonder. So that was Slamwise Bambi taking a seat. So power jam now for Skeletor, who has started this jam from the penalty box.
But has not been awarded lead.
So no lead has actually been assessed.
Yeah.
Needs to complete that initial pass.
And North Wales with three blockers on track, trying to hold back Skeletor.
So we're over a minute in now. Lead still hasn't been assessed. There's only one eligible jammer here for that anyway.
And we have
that star pass.
Jessica Stabbit for Wiltshire now has the star for them.
So it's going to be a full 2-minute jam. And a 5-point pass on the board for North Wales. So 5 points apiece. All of the skaters back on the track, and 2 jammers in play at once for the first time.
And that was a big sprawl there on in between turns 1 and 2. But everyone's back up.
A low block penalty has just been called. So we're going to be seeing just one of the blockers off to the penalty box for Wiltshire. That was number 5.
But Jessica Stabbit with some great sideways surfing on the outside and completes that scoring pass. So both teams picking up a large number of points in this jam. North Wales have picked up 11, and it's 9 points for Wiltshire. So North Wales expanding their lead out to 96 points.
Oh, we just had an update there.
Oh.
Wiltshire up to 13. So I think the second highest scoring jam for both teams. Definitely in this second period, the first highest.
But it's still just 3 points between the two teams. 96 for North Wales, 93 for Wiltshire.
Pack advantage now to North Wales with blocker in the penalty box. Spider Slam jamming for North Wales, Diamond Dodge jamming for Wiltshire. Both of our jammers stuck behind walls. Very nicely done. Some excellent hip work there. Coming in with those good blocks. Trying desperately to force their way through with the shoulders. Both of the jammers trying to find a gap. Struggling to break through. Oh, but nice work there from Diamond Dodge. Down the inside, very little opposition. Huge wide lane open.
Picked up so much pace that they were able to dodge any of the North Wales blockers because they had that momentum.
Taking a tumble there and bringing down Southern Beth. Coming back round, trying to find a break on the inside. Nicely done. Through again, calling it off. And a 4-point pass on the board there. So that leaves us with a 1-point game, 98 to 97, but in favour this time of North Wales. 24 minutes on the clock.
Yeah. So just a reminder that this game, and we have an official review being called by North Wales Roller Derby. So while we're in the official review, just a chance to remind ourselves why this game is important. So both teams here having come top or second in their tier in championships are playing for promotion. In order to get to that promotion, they need to go to the semi-final, which is going to be 9:30 tomorrow morning for whoever wins this game.
Absolutely.
Whoever loses this game, sadly, no promotion. It's time to go home, have a bath, and get ready for the after party.
They're going to be going up against the winner of Game 3, which is now concluded on track 1.
And that, I believe, was the Cambridge Rollerbillies. They were playing Riot City Ravens, but Cambridge came away with a very definite win.
Yes, 429 to 78, so quite a significant differential there, and that's on the just one body track. Now we are still in the process of this official review. We're trying to find out what that is for you, so we'll do our best to get that information over. As you can see on the screen there, we've got another look at the penalties. I think North Wales seem to be increasing slightly.
But I think the thing to look out for, Skeletor, having played such a pivotal role in the last couple of jams, has unfortunately now got to 4 penalties. And so with still almost a half to go, that's going to be a bit of a factor when it comes to lineup decisions.
Exactly. I think that's somebody that we haven't seen jamming in the first half, or at least we only saw when they were taking star passes, starting again in the rotation in this period, but then picking up those penalties and a couple in the same jam. So that's going to, like you say, it's going to affect those decisions on lineup. But we'll see how that affects it, because we did have only 3 main jammers on rotation there. It seems to have changed slightly. But we'll see. We're only a handful of jams in, 3 jams into this period. And we've got just shy of 24 minutes left on the clock.
And it's also a chance to thank Roller Derby City, sponsors of this track. And this track is where the winner will be going to play for the semi-final tomorrow. So a chance to check out their apparel, uniforms, merchandise, and recently helmet covers at rollerderbycity.com.
And we're very thankful to them because they do provide our crew and all of our officials with the gear as well. So thank you very much. I've got a nice little collection of Roller Derby City attire, and it looks like we're just going to wait for an update from on track announcers, but we'll feed that back to you as soon as we know more.
But the game is back underway, and it's the Renegade jamming for Wiltshire, picking up lead, and it is number 808 Lady Guinevere for North Wales. Hasn't jammed for a while, but is able to brush off that hit and back on track as the Renegade completes their first scoring pass.
That's complete now with a 5-point pass. Oh, a bit of a tumble out at the front there. Both of our jammers out now and on scoring passes.
But Lady Guinevere has completed the initial pass.
So a bit of an update from track with regards to the official review. North Wales were calling for an illegal contact penalty on Wiltshire's jammer, and it was just no impact, so Wales have lost their review.
So that last jam, Wiltshire picked up 9 points, taking them to 106. So we have another lead change. North Wales on 98 points. So on the jam line, it is on the radar jam line, it is Linsane for Wiltshire up against Diddley Squat for North Wales.
So we've got 3 on 2-pack advantage. North Wales picking that up despite only having 2 blockers on track and managing to get lead there. Linsane isn't too far behind Diddley Squat. That pack separating quite a way through turn 2 and down the straightaway, but looking for a break on the outside line, not to the outfield. Referee's taking a knee all over the place, trying to avoid skaters.
But it's North Wales that pick up the points in that jam. Great time off of the call by Diddley Squat. 2 points for North Wales, closing that gap down to 6 points.
Yes, so we've got North Wales roller derby playing in purple, Wiltshire roller derby playing in white. If you're joining us online, thanks very much. Get in touch using the hashtag #BritishChamps.
And we have an official timeout. I think they just want to make sure, especially when it's this wafer thin, that everything is correct, and it is. So the gameplay is going to get underway.
Nice and snappy official review, not even official review, official timeout.
Proper pivot line start there almost, with the hips and everything.
My goodness.
And it's North Wales who get the best of that start.
Slamwise Bambi picking up lead. And that pack is recycling back pretty much through between turns 3 and 4.
Diamond Dodge sneaks around the outside with the helmet cover in their hand.
And it's on head now. And that was the jam called off.
And again, this shows where when North Wales have leads, they can't do the multiple scoring passes that would really sort of give them that ability to close down the gap. Only 3 points in that jam. 103 now playing 106.
It is, and I think this is what our continental colleagues tend to call nickel and diming.
Yep, nickel and diming. 3 points, 4 points, 5 points a jam.
We've got 2 blockers in the penalty box from North Wales, so it's 4 on 2 pack advantage now for Wiltshire with 3-point lead.
The Renegade getting some offense from number 19, Be Brutal, and gets lead.
Nicely done, as the pack is still between our jammer and pivot lines. Helmet covers coming off of heads all over the place here.
That was interesting. So North Wales, with the jammer coming around from Wiltshire, instead of forming a wall, decided to go for the star pass. And that did leave the Renegade with an easy pass through, so they gave up 5 points by doing that.
So Rotten's got it in hand now. But to no avail, really. The Renegade calls the jam off, picking up 5 points and another 4. They go 9 in total. 115 ahead now. Playing Wales 103. Just 20 minutes left on the period clock with second period. And as we've said before, relatively low scoring game, which I think demonstrates the strength in offence and defence in this game.
And I think in the last 10 minutes, we've doubled the score in 10 minutes, which shows that second half, it's really about multiple scoring passes.
I think that they'll be looking very, very closely at tactics in the half-time period, because we have seen a lot of similar gameplay from these teams, and we tend to see jams that interchange quite seamlessly, where you see the same lead type behaviour from one team that you will then see from the other team. So Diddley Squat is now lead jammer.
And sharp attack there, the pivot for North Wales, doing a fantastic job at splitting up walls and doing perfectly timed offence.
So we've got a power jam here now for North Wales. And Wiltshire have got a blocker in the box as well. So it's quite disadvantaged on the track. We'll see what North Wales can do with this. They're only 2 points away so far with a 10-point jam.
And will now take the lead.
Yeah, lovely 5-point pass there.
Yeah.
Diddley Squat really showing good strength in track awareness. And the help there from having all 4 of the blockers on track is really making a difference. But having to recycle, and you know what, it's making a difference. I think the bench are yelling, call it. Down on the inside. Is she going to call it? No, back up and recycling.
But that is
low block
for Wiltshire, and letting Diddley Squat complete the 4th scoring pass.
But you know what? She was right not to call it. This has actually worked out really, really well. The highest scoring jam of the game so far, and we've still got 30 seconds left, and it's 20 points in.
Because Wiltshire are yet to complete their initial scoring pass, so it's in Diddley Squat's interest to try and get another pass or two.
Yeah.
But that hit out and recycle is going to suck some of that time away.
It is. It looked like there was a little bit of tiring on the outside there. Quite a bit of work to do to try and get through on the outside. Is she going to push it to the end of the jam? No, she's going to call it.
Yeah.
Just with 9 seconds left there, but a cracking jam.
I think that was a smart move by Diddley Squat, who was starting to look that this was a long jam. So in that case, take the 24 points.
Yeah, that was a really, really strong jam from Diddley Squat. Very impressive.
So 127 points now for North Wales Roller Derby, 115 for Wiltshire, and we've seen the momentum in the second half swing back and forth. And I think, with 17 minutes left to go, and we are now in a timeout, it's going to be who can get the next sort of 5 minutes, who can really sort of open that lead up, maybe to 30, 40 points.
That could really anchor this game in one direction, couldn't it? I think, we're starting the game with another blocker in the penalty box. Still, we haven't seen a clean penalty box for the start of a jam for a while.
Oh, and if you leave that inside line open,
well, that's going to get exploited, isn't it?
Yeah.
Samwise Bambi picking up lead jammer for North Wales. I think they're finding a bit of a groove with this now, despite the fact that B Brutal's now got the helmet cover on for Wiltshire and completing that star pass. But lovely pass there from Samwise Bambi, calling it off with 4 more points on the board. Bit of hit it and quit it action there.
Yeah, and I think that was smart because Wiltshire were coming round for the scoring pass and did in fact pick up 1 point.
I think what we're seeing a little bit more of now is the jammers keeping a bit more of an eye on the other jammers, because North Wales are really keeping an eye on the pack, but they're looking at the other jammers and thinking, where have I got the advantage here?
And I think they've been listening to us because they're starting to run jams a bit longer.
Somebody got an earpiece in there somewhere. 116 to 130. The Renegade picking up lead jammer now for Wiltshire.
And the Renegade with a massive smile on the face as they left the pack. They couldn't believe
thank goodness. Thank goodness.
I can't believe that was left open.
Oh, nice coming up at the front there, going just one-on-one up at the front of the pack, and the pack very thinly spread, calling it off.
Oh.
She managed to get that one up at the front, yes. All 4 on the board.
No.
Am I mistaken?
No. It is 4 points.
It's hard to see numbers of fingers from here.
So our position, for those of you at home want to know where we are, we're right next to that camera position, so we've got a great view over the track.
Unless you're short like me and I really have to lean, which I do apologise because I keep shoving my upper body into poor Dorcas Justice's face.
Things they never tell you about announcer life.
Back on track anyway, as we go into the next jam. Lady Guinevere and Lindsay jamming. It's a 10-point game at the minute. Points this period, Wiltshire have got 40, North Wales 57. Lindsay picking up lead jammer.
And Wiltshire picking up about half of the lead jams at the moment, but have, it's been really 6 of one, half a dozen of another so far in this second half. And the amount of lead changes show that. But Wiltshire able to complete that scoring pass.
Just trying to figure out a little bit what was going on the track there. The pack was spreading really thinly. Yeah. But it looks like we have got some more points on the board for Wiltshire. So 124 to 132. So 2 more points on the board there for North Wales.
And I think that's key. In the first half, Wiltshire were in the lead because they were able to score when North Wales had lead. So for North Wales to keep putting those 2 or 3 or 1 points on the board just keeps them in touch or keeps that lead wider than Wiltshire would like.
And I think we are seeing a little bit of mirrored tactics here. Whether they realise that that's happening or not, I think it just is coincidental. On the track, we've got Samwise Bambi and Diamond Dodge jamming. Trying to find a break through the pack, but really struggling. Trying to get in with the shoulder. And there's a hole now as we've got a multiplayer block penalty. I think that might even be the first one that we've seen. Diamond Dodge managing to pick up lead jammer. So a blocker apiece off the track. It's a 3-on-3 pack. Diamond Dodge now coming up for a scoring pass. Outside lane left open. Not quite though. Coming up the front, there's going to be an out of play warning up before long. That was called off from the floor.
But that was good timing from the Wiltshire blockers, going from offence to defence at absolutely the right time.
So 4 points there, and that means there's 4 points in it. Wiltshire with 128, North Wales 132, 13.5 minutes left on the clock.
And Diddley Squat on the radar jam line for North Wales, up against
Renegade. Jamming now for Wiltshire. A blocker, a pivot in the penalty box for North Wales. So it's a 3-on-4 pack advantage there to Wiltshire.
That was beautiful from North Wales blockers, going back for the recycle, also doing a bit of offence for their jammer at the same time.
A little bit of a switch out in the penalty box there, but it's a blocker apiece off the track now. So 3-on-3 pack. Renegade has got lead jammer. Pack still not moved much past turn 1, but breezes through Diddley Squat just past the inside, making it look like a nice stroll out on a Saturday.
The Renegade sees the danger and calls the jam, but has picked up 4 points, and we are back to a tied game. Second time this game that we've been at a tie.
This is exciting.
Yeah. And if I was North Wales, I'd maybe think about having a timeout, because I think there's a bit of a need for North Wales to try and get some momentum back.
So they've had no points in the last 4 jams.
North Wales did call a timeout.
So interestingly, as we've got no points scored in the last 4 jams by North Wales, but Wiltshire have also put 4 points in each jam on the board in the last 4 jams. Yeah. So thanks to Brom for keeping us updated with those stats there.
I do think North Wales have got somebody with an earpiece listening to our...
Do you reckon the bench have got it on?
Yeah. But I think absolutely the right time to call a timeout.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, they had that breakthrough jam, and then Wiltshire nickled and dimed it back to a tied game. So time to slow the momentum, but also how are they going to switch it up?
They're closing that accordion. I go through periods where I have different references. At one point it was like food and drink. Now it's musical instruments. I don't know. Ask Sven. He's used to it. It goes a little bit crazy from time to time. But that aside, tied game as we've mentioned. Just over 12 minutes on the clock. North Wales roller derby with 2 blockers in the penalty box. They're playing in purple. Wiltshire roller derby playing in white with 1 blocker in the penalty box, so it's a 2-3 pack advantage for Wiltshire. Spider Slam jamming for North Wales, Insane jamming, and lead jammer for Wiltshire.
I think North Wales, I thought they'd go back for offence. They weren't. They were looking for a star pass. They haven't been able to complete it, and they've had to go back to defence. So North Wales not able to do what they want in this jam. Wiltshire keeping them apart very effectively.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot more of the packs spreading out now. They're really, I think, losing a little bit of focus on the bridging. They're coming up to the point where they're getting very, very close to that 10 feet apart, and they're really stretching it.
Some beautiful offence from number 2 for North Wales, Sudden Beth.
Sudden Beth's had a good, strong game. We've seen her up at the front of the pack quite a few times, holding down that front line, just as she's doing now beautifully. Is she the one with the earpiece in? Oh. Yeah.
But that was Spider Slam getting out of the pack, forcing that jam to be called, but Wiltshire picked up 5 points, taking the lead.
Just over 11 minutes left as we go into jam 15 in the second half.
And I think both teams have had incredibly strong defence, but for me, Wiltshire's just been that 1 or 2% stronger.
It's so close, though. It is so close.
But then this is a game of seconds, and if you can keep the jammer back 1 second longer,
absolutely. Yeah. And I think it comes down to the penalties as well. We saw that very early on. We had a lot of speaking of penalties. Very early on, we had quite heavy penalties from North Wales, who've now got 2 skaters in the box again.
So North Wales pivot thought they had a penalty, but it was actually the Wiltshire pivot that had the penalty.
So that means that
And it's a power jam to Wiltshire.
it is. Slamwise Bambi has got...
Oh, no, it's not. I'm seeing the wrong person in the wrong position. And my apologies there. It's not a power jam.
Slamwise Bambi has lead for North Wales. We had, it looks like, a star past Diamond Dodge. And it's the first lead in 5 jams there for North Wales.
And North Wales picked up 4 crucial points, taking this to a 1-point game.
A little bit of confusion in the penalty box there, and I think a little bit of confusion on our behalf as well.
Yeah.
You know, we do our best with what we can see. We're using the screen for reference. We're also trying to crane our necks over the balcony to try and bring you updates with the action. But as Dortmund just said, we've got a 1-point game here with just under 10 minutes of gameplay left, and that whistle starts the jam.
It's the Renegade on the radar jam line for Wiltshire up against Diddley Squat for North Wales.
Looking for a break down the inside line there. Renegade, struggling and recycled now back to the rear of the pack. Both of our jammers recycling back to pretty much the same point.
Sorry, the Renegade unlucky there because North Wales weren't forming an effective wall, but Megan Love doing some one-on-one blocking. And that hasn't helped keep the Renegade back. Lead jammer for Wiltshire.
That's definitely true, but we've got all of the blockers back on the track now. As she says it, there you go, as a whistle. Was that a blocking now?
Diddley Squat completes their initial pass, so both jammers now able to score.
So now it's just a case of trying to keep that pack in situ, but as I say it, the jammer whistle called.
But I think Wiltshire there were very effective in breaking up North Wales and separating out the blockers. And that was, it's one of those things you don't necessarily jumps out at you, but it is absolutely fundamental.
It can be quite subtle. It really can.
Yeah. But it's a crucial strategy if you want those points.
It is, and I think that's something that does come down to experience. Like I said earlier about just that intuition of knowing what's happening on track without having to watch so closely. Knowing where your feet are without looking down. It's the same kind of, I think, sixth sense when it comes to roller derby.
But it's Rottens for North Wales who's in the penalty box. So it's 3-on-3 packs on track. And both jammers stuck behind tough, dynamic tripods. Great defence from both teams.
North Wales have got Lady Guinevere jamming, Lindsay jamming for Wiltshire. And North Wales have only scored 9 points in the last 8 jams. We haven't really seen much movement on those scores in a couple of jams, so let's see where this leaves us now. This pack really bunching up through turns 1 and 2.
But we still don't have a lead jammer, and we're 50 seconds into this jam, which shows the defense strength, and which we did see at the start of the game, but it's sort of slowed back down these last few jams.
Yeah. Recycling Lindsay now the back of the pack. Great wall there from North Wales. Taking a bit of a tumble as the pack starts to stretch. Nice bridging. Making sure somebody's responsible for that, but a back block. Have we seen many back blocks today? I don't think we have.
No, but this is now a power jam to North Wales and chance for Lady Guinevere to pick up lead jammer. I mean, there's 30 seconds left on the clock, so they're going to want to complete that initial pass.
I mean, and after that point, we're only going to have 6 minutes of gameplay left, so this is really crucial at this point now. If it stays close, we'll be running it right up to that last jam.
I'm struggling to understand why North Wales were choosing a goat rather than offense just then, because they still haven't completed that. Lady Guinevere still hasn't completed their initial pass.
The helmet cover's come off though. Is she just feigning it, or is she actually going to pass it?
And that is a penalty shut down by Wiltshire as their jammer is back on track and the jam comes to an end.
Comes to its natural conclusion.
I think when North Wales go back and look at this, they'll see this as a missed opportunity, unfortunately.
I agree, yeah. It was, I think, right tactics, wrong time.
Yes.
Just under 6 minutes left on the clock now. No movement on the scores. 136 to North Wales, 141 to Wiltshire. And just a big shout out to Radar, who are sponsoring our MVPs this weekend, and they're also sponsoring the jam lines on our tracks.
That was great work from the North Wales roller derby jammer. Slamwise Bambi to stay in track and pick up lead.
Diamond Dodge is taking the helmet cover off, but she is through and out in front of the pack now. Helmet cover back on, but not lead. So both of our jammers now on scoring passes, but North Wales could use this as a great opportunity, and does that.
And takes it back to a 1-point game. 5 minutes left to go.
Oh my goodness. You know, I didn't have much of a voice to start with at this tournament, but next week I don't think I'll be talking to anyone. Goodness me. Right, a blocker apiece in the penalty box, so it's a 3-on-3 pack. As we go into the next jam, the 5-second call goes up. Pack moving right back towards the Raider jam line, and Spider Slam and Lorena Gage jamming.
No, it's that's Megan Love on the jam line for the first time for North Wales Roller Derby, who picks up lead, and the crowd genuinely go wild.
So I do apologise. It looks like there was a little error with the scoreboard there. It does say Spider Slam, but that is, as Doug said, it's Megan Love coming up against the strong wall there, but really fighting, throwing that shoulder in, and just bouncing off of that wall. Goodness me. Nicely done around the outside. Just 1 or 2 left to go. Oh, beautiful waterfalling round up at the front there and out. Oh, a lovely 4-point pass.
Wiltshire looking for the star pass, but that means they are giving up all of those points. So North Wales able to widen that gap because they have now taken the lead.
Be Brutal now donning the helmet cover for Wiltshire, but to no avail. Lead change up now.
So that's 7 points for North Wales, 147. Wiltshire's 141. Wiltshire passing the star to get out of the block meant that they missed the points on that pass.
Yeah.
I think you can just tell how badly both teams want this, that they're making tactical errors at this stage.
Yeah, and I think it comes through the lack of time.
Yeah.
They're trying to make rash decisions, and I think you're tending to see that coming through on their gameplay now. A little bit frantic.
Yeah.
Lindsay jamming for Wiltshire.
Up against Diddley Squat for North Wales.
Oh, recycled at the back there, and it's a power jam for Wiltshire. Lead still open, so it's only available now for Lindsay if she just managed to make it through the pack.
But she's taken the helmet cover off, so she is not eligible for lead because she took the helmet cover off. Goodness. So this will be a full 2-minute game, no lead jammer.
So this is where when you're talking about awareness on track, actually,
the last 10 minutes is
oh, it's back. Oh, it was on for a second there. Oh, just a second. I think she's checked. Yeah, she's trying to pass it.
Yeah. And there's
full
been
2 minutes. Yeah.
And so there has been a star pass on Wiltshire side.
I think they're just bothered about the points now when it comes down to it. Jessica Stabbit has got the helmet cover on, but 4 more points on the board there for Wiltshire. North Wales now back in the pack on a scoring pass. Oh, coming up against that wall, taking a tumble at the back, but it was at least passing a couple of skaters. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, lordy, and Wiltshire have now just taken the lead. Diddley Squat is on a scoring pass, so if completes, they would tie.
Yeah, she's really struggling to find a way through that wall, though, up at the front. I think had the helmet cover knocked off and was spending time putting it back on.
And I think she was also looking for the pivot, who is in the penalty box right now. But that's it. Wiltshire complete another scoring pass. 13 points so far in this jam. And so North Wales will struggle to catch that up in jam.
Yeah. 3-on-3 jam on track now with 3 seconds, 2, 1. And that's the jam called off with 1 minute 16 left on the clock. That could mean that we're going into the last jam of the game. Oh my goodness, it's a 4-point game. 151 on the board for North Wales Roller Derby playing in purple.
No, it's an 8-point game. We've just had 4 more points added for Wiltshire. 151 playing 159. That was a crucial defining jam of this game.
Yes. So this could see, we have a 4-on-2 pack advantage for North Wales now. And they've picked up lead jammer. Slamwise Bambi doing an excellent job. Oh my goodness, my heart is in my mouth.
But Wiltshire have passed the star to number 5, Hayley, who's only just clearing the pack as North Wales complete a scoring pass. North Wales are going to want to run this as long as possible.
Absolutely.
And hold back Hayley.
And they've got the power, they've got the advantage now, taking it down on the outfield, recycling towards the back of the pack now and coming through. How I reckon we've got at least 3 points on the board now, 4 points more, another 4. Oh my goodness.
But Hayley sneaks round on the outside. Slamwise Bambi, one of the consistent highest leads, highest scoring jammers. So North Wales hoping that Slamwise will be able to do an extra lap on Hayley. But Hayley is now lapping Slamwise Bambi. Oh my Lord.
Oh goodness me. We've got a couple of penalties in the penalty box. One of them is 2 minutes. 2 penalties for a whole minute.
So all the blockers trying to keep that inside line free for their jammer.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, and Hayley sneaks round on the inside. Great offense from the entire Wiltshire wall.
38 seconds and it's a 5-point game.
Oh, and it's all about how many laps can the jammers do. Oh,
she called it off.
She called it.
Why?
We have both got our heads in our hands.
You can probably
trying to understand what happened.
Oh no.
Oh Lord, poor North Wales. When they look back at this, my heart breaks for them.
Did they think they had it? Oh, there was like almost 30 seconds left on the clock, and that's the final score. Oh, I am devastated for them.
Oh, my heart is broken for them. So that means that Wiltshire Roller Derby will be going through as the winner of Game 4 to the Tier 3 semi-final tomorrow morning on the Roller Derby City track here at 9:30. And North Wales go home.
Well, they may well be just...
I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. When you wish that they could hear you.
Yeah, all along we've been thinking that they have.
Yeah.
Not in that last 30 seconds. Oh my goodness.
But it just, and it's down to probably 4 jams that caused that result. It's the jams where North Wales called this off early. It's the jam where Wiltshire were able to make that sort of 13-point jam the one before.
Yeah.
I'm
pretty speechless.
It was a couple of tactical mistakes from both teams, and North Wales unable to capitalise on that power jam that they had, and that's why we've got to where we've got to. But it's absolutely heartbreaking. Shows how much both teams put into this game. They threw everything at it, and it was an absolutely stunning game to watch.
It was very, very exciting, and it still bemuses me what happened in the last 30 seconds of that last jam, because it could have gone so differently.
Absolutely.
I mean, you don't know what's happened on track. No. A jammer might have had cramp, for goodness sake. It could have come down to something as simple as that, that you were just at the point where you could do no more. Yeah. And they're going to be heartbroken. They're going to be devastated. I really feel for them. That was so close.
But I think the thing they should take away from this game is that they could have won this, and it was just a few tactical errors, a few things that didn't go the way that they wanted.
That's true. They're going to take that into account though, moving forward.
They're going to go away and learn from that.
Yes, absolutely.
And
yes.
And I think come back as hopefully see them back here next year.
Oh yeah. They're going to really ramp it up. I can see.
Yeah. So, and it just shows, so Wiltshire got lead 17 and North Wales got lead 22 times, but it was that nickel and dime and Wiltshire sneaking those extra points that caused that result.
All right, well, as you can see here, 166 points to 171, an incredibly well fought game, 5 points in it, but the penalties.
And actually, very penalty-heavy game, and I think both teams should really think about sort of sharpening. Wiltshire picking up a large number of direction penalties, and they had 4 skaters on 5 penalties by the end of that game. North Wales had that early start, and they had 1 skater who's on 6 penalties, and it's quite a few cut tracks, which is I think they need to go away and work on.
Yeah, I think the majority of the penalties that have come out of this today have been direction of gameplay, cut track, and forearms. I think the cut tracks have been considerably more on North Wales' side of things. They need to take a little bit of a look at their front lines, I think, when the gameplay is starting to ramp up. I think when the packs start to break apart, they can sometimes lose a little bit of focus up at the front there. But all in all, this has been an incredibly well played game.
And we'll just hand you over to our next interview. So Stormageddon is interviewing a couple of skaters from a previous game.